Slovakia Chronicles, a podcast of information, news and much more of our beloved Slovakia. By Andrea Paolo Mazzucchetti. It's me! Let's start! Hello everyone, welcome to the 11th episode of the Slovakia Chronicle podcast. After all this extraordinary period full of sadness and negativity, we definitely need more good vibes and love in our lives. Love has different forms and shapes, but it's always love at the end, and June is the right moment to underline it. Do you know that this month we celebrate the LGBT Pride worldwide? LGBT Pride is the promotion of the self-affirmation, dignity, equality and increased visibility of lesbian, gay, bisexual and transgender people as a social group. Pride, as opposite to shame and social stigma, is the predominant outlook that animates most LGBT right movements. In order to understand the LGBT point of view in Slovakia, I have invited a special guest for this episode, Marek Novotny, member of non-profit organization Diversity Pro and promoter of the LGBT professional meetings. So, sit back and enjoy. Welcome, Marek, to Slovakia Chronicle podcast.
Hi, Andrea. Thank you for inviting me to participate.
Thank you very much to be here, and really a pleasure that you participate, especially talking about these topics, LGBT and diversity inclusion, that I like to support these initiatives. And of course, I would like to introduce yourself first, and then we can start discussing.
Okay. Thank you very much. Well, before I introduce myself a bit more, I must say you have chosen a very good timing
exactly
for our interview, because now we are in the month of June, when we commemorate the Stonewall riots, which occurred at the end of June 1969 in New York. And similarly to the demonstrations happening now in the United States in support of the people of color, the Stonewall demonstrations were are commemorated as a trigger leading to gay liberation movement and the fight for the LGBTI rights in the world. So, very good timing.
Timing is everything. Is what I learned.
Something about myself. So my name is Marek Novotny. I come from Slovakia, work in an international company here in Bratislava. For the past 7 years, I'm also involved in the non-for-profit sector, especially as a member of Diversity Pro, which is a non-governmental organization dedicated to promoting equal opportunities and equal treatment of LGBTI people in Slovakia.
Okay, good. And why did you enter in this group? What inspired you? Why you decided to enter?
The story is a bit longer than that. Diversity Pro was created in 2013 by a few enthusiasts and volunteers from the corporate environment. And I was one of the first members, and we can say that I have helped making the Diversity Pro running or contributed to its activities since its beginning. Why I joined? I used to study abroad in bigger cities of Europe, bigger than Bratislava, where diversity and inclusion were actually part of the daily life, and no one was looking at what is the background of the other person, whether they come from a different country or whether they speak a different language, or whether they are gay or lesbian or like people just were living their own lives. And when I came back to Slovakia, first to Trnava, a smaller town, some 50 kilometers from Bratislava, and then started working in Bratislava, I realized that, not much has changed here. Over those 6 years I was abroad, and I told myself, well, if you want to stay here for longer, you must do something and then help to contribute to the society, to be more open-minded. So that was at the beginning, and that's how I joined Diversity Pro as well, those 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm. And I know also that you are one of the promoters of this LGBT professional. It is a very cool initiative that I also participate. Why did you create it?
Well, LGBT Professionals is actually one of the projects of Diversity Pro. It started quite spontaneously at the beginning, when we were organizing smaller activities, smaller events. First started with some networking activities to actually learn whether there is any larger community who would be interested in learning more about LGBTI topics, or just to support each other and share. And with time and each activity we created, there were more and more people joining. Currently, LGBT Professionals is also a Facebook group, which counts approximately 500 members. Most of them are Slovaks, but there are also many foreigners who either live in Slovakia nowadays or lived here before.
Okay. And exactly, talking about community, especially on the social media, how do you spread the voice of your work? How you created your community? I imagine, especially in I don't know, for Slovak, but also for foreigner. I imagine that you are doing also something, because I know. So.
Well, if you take the members themselves, the members of Diversity Pro, in the beginning, the group was very international. There were some Slovaks, and there were also some members from other countries, mainly in Europe. That was actually a quite typical way of creating a community, when everyone knows someone and you spread the word.
Okay.
So we were sharing with the people we knew whether they were interested to join, and they shared further. And as we were also each of us working in different companies or were entrepreneurs, we obviously had our own communities with whom we shared our activities, and that's how step by step the community was growing.
Mm-hmm. Talking about generally in Slovakia, how you see diversity inclusion? Has it been an improvement or lately, or you think we should be done more?
Diversity and inclusion might be seen as a quite new topic in Slovakia. However, it was here forever. If you take Slovakia today and in the past, it always was a diverse society. For instance, I'm living in the center of Bratislava, and I sometimes go for a walk to this old cemetery dating from the 18th, 19th, and early 20th century. And actually, all those names on those of those people who lived here at that time, they are either German or Hungarian. There are some Slovaks, some Czechs, but it's very diverse and international. If you take Slovakia, how it is today, it is still not a monolithic country or nation. You have many other Slovaks actually who are of different minorities, speaking Hungarian, Czech, even German, or who are part of the Gypsy community. So Slovakia is a diverse country.
Okay.
I understand that for such a young nation like Slovaks is, it is important to find our own identity. But at the same time, it is hard to forget or deny that the diversity is here with us and we are part of it. So I hope that with Slovakia being a member of the European Union, we will be able to benefit more from this membership and actually contribute to a more respectful community, not only within Slovakia but overall in Europe, and become a more not necessarily modern, but respectful community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And do you think that, I don't know, the lockdown, this coronavirus, affect your plan? I imagine yes, because for sure, like for example, the Pride Parade actually in Slovakia was postponed, right? Yes. So, what are your initiatives that you did during this lockdown to still support these activities?
So similarly to everyone, we were all going through the phases when in the beginning you were shocked what's happening, you didn't know how this situation is going to evolve. Then you learned that, well, this is going to last for quite some time and you cannot do much with it. So you got used to the new ways of living and working. And now when we are getting back to, let's call it a new normal, as many like saying, we are slowly getting back to our planned activities. This doesn't mean that we were completely absent, but yes, the first month was kind of difficult, and we were all asking ourselves, okay, so what we can do next? So over this time, we were planning, first of all, the LGBT Business Forum to be held back in May. Unfortunately, we had to postpone it. So now the new date is set for October 2020 with a more flexible virtual and classroom format. I don't want to reveal too much, but that's the idea.
No spoiler. Spoiler alert.
And what I was really glad was the initiative Diversity Pro was also supporting around the 17th of May, which is the International Day Against Homophobia, Biphobia, and Transphobia. Which is commemorating the decision to remove homosexuality from the International Classification of Diseases of the World Health Organization back in 1990. And also the Business Forum was initially planned to commemorate this event. But well, as we couldn't organize the forum itself, we have discussed with our partners who wanted to cooperate on the business forum about what we can do now when everyone is at home, or people can go out, but maybe individually or maximum in a small group of 1 to 3 people living in the same household. So we came up with this initiative to raise the rainbow flag, either on the building of the partner who was participating on our business forum, or on their website. So in the end, there were a few companies and also several embassies that raised the rainbow flag, and you could actually see on the 17th of May the rainbow flag to be a little bit spread across Bratislava.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it on pictures, so I was really proud about this. Really good job. Really good job.
This was the least we could do when your means were limited.
Yeah, exactly. Related to the job, so at work, what do you think? What is the diversity inclusion status for Slovakia?
I would mention the European initiative called Diversity Charter. That was first signed in Slovakia in 2018. Slovakia was, I think, as well the 18th country in Europe joining this initiative. Currently, it has over 70 employers who signed, and the idea of Diversity Charter is to bring together and motivate as well the employers to build a more inclusive work environment. And this regardless of any limitations like gender, age, race, religion, sexual orientation, gender identity, disability, or any other. A few companies went even further. Apart from the regular activities they are doing within their premises, for instance, they organize diversity days in the month of May, when we commemorate also the signing of the Diversity Charter in Slovakia. There are various activities held around the year by the NGO who is actually keeping the Diversity Charter alive in Slovakia. Its name is the Pontis Foundation. Other than that, some of these companies, they even go further and for instance, propose equal benefits for all. That's for instance the topic of this year's business forum, where we would like to actually share and motivate employers to think about the employee benefits they are offering to their employees, and look at it on how they can actually make it equal for everyone. One of the ideas is, and some companies already have this approach or follow this approach, is that they offer, for instance, the same rights for the people living under the same roof, in the same, I wouldn't call it a family, but who live in at the same place.
Okay.
For instance, when let's take the example of the foreigners living in Slovakia. So there are two foreigners living in the same apartment, not necessarily working for the same company, or they are not a family. And just by bringing a document to your employer that you are living with this person, this is the most important person for you in this country. You can this person can go with you to the doctors, or you can go with that person to the doctors, or arrange any other important activities, and the employer is recognizing it as if it was your husband, wife, or a member of your family.
It is very, very nice initiative. Yeah, I really appreciate it. I totally agree with you and really support it. And I wanted to ask you, how you people, foreign or Slovak anyhow, can support your cause? How they can, participate or, contribute?
Well, the easiest way is to attend our events, come and have a look what we do, spread the word further to your friends so that the professionals community is growing. Furthermore, Diversity Pro is eligible to raise 2 or 3% of employee taxes.
Okay, great. Yes, definitely. I will do it. I think this year was a bit crazy because of this coronavirus, so it was a bit stuck, this process. But for next year, definitely, yes. I will totally do it. So coming to your last question, I can say, what are your future plans now? If you have to create a calendar, an imaginary calendar.
Already in less than 1 month, we would like to organize a small picnic. Let's call it picnic outside in Medická záhrada in the center of Bratislava, because we think that everyone is already so tired and exhausted from all the virtual events and meetings and webinars they have to follow at work. So we would like to benefit from this release of the lockdown here in Slovakia, and we have already posted on our website that purely on voluntary basis, so those who really want to can join us on the 3rd of July, which is Friday in the evening in Medická záhrada, and just see each other, exchange, have something nice to eat and drink, and somehow, hopefully, say goodbye to this
crazy period
experience.
Yeah.
So that's the first activity, or the closest activity we are planning for the summer. And as I said, the business forum around the topic of equal employee benefits is planned for the 5th of October. This will be held virtually, so that anyone can join without any problems. And there will be also a possibility for a face-to-face networking, again at voluntary basis, somewhere in Bratislava.
Okay.
So that's more or less the activities for this year. Hopefully we will be able to run both of them, because the situation is still evolving.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
yes. Hopefully not a second wave.
Yes. Now it's kind of better. Everyone can go out. All the bars and restaurants are open, but still, any large events have still some limitations to run.
Yeah, it's normal. We are coming to this new normality, so this should be facing for the next months. Hopefully not for forever, but this should be at least. Okay, so really, thank you very much. And for sure, I'm coming to the picnic. I think I subscribed it. I saw the event on Facebook, so I put like my interest in this. So for sure, I would like to come. I hope for the weather because it's crazy. And now the weather, that basically that everything like is opening, but the weather is going crazy. So it's coming back to the autumn. No, it's keeping directly the summer. So. Yeah. Let's hope for this, but should be fine. I mean, in July should be fine. Thank you very much for your time, and so we keep in touch. 100%.
Thank you very much, Andrea. It was a pleasure talking to you, and good luck with your future podcast.
Thank you. Yes, I need it. I need it. Hopefully, everything is going to be fine. Thank you, and see you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye.
Thank you very much to our guest Marek to share with us this important information. I decided to dedicate this episode to all our friends who are not as lucky as others, to show their love and to enjoy the same civil rights. I would like to spread the awareness about this topic for a future without discrimination. So help me in this cause for a better world. Thank you for being part of the Slovakia Chronicle family, and stay safe.